Yep. Good morning. Welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
This is the morning routine. Half hour to strength, stretch, but first, check in with our breath. I'll assume my big power pose or that sumo squat stance. Placing one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Check in with your body. Check in with your friend.
Hello.
Ready to start?
Ready.
With the hand on the belly and lightly closed lips, take a 4-second inhale. And slow exhale. Continue for 2 more repetitions, breathing into the belly, looking to make room. Feel the belly press against the hand on the inhale, and on the exhale, pull that belly button into your spine. Repeat one more time, down low, and out. Now with that belly button pulled in, bottom hand stays calm, top hand, breathe into the chest. 4 seconds in, and 4 seconds exhale. Bottom hand stays calm, top hand might move. Fill for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. For the final repetition, one last time in that chest breath. 360 degrees around, and exhale. Relax those hands. Take a big breath. We'll return to the breath. That time, looking for room. Next time, looking for stability. From here, rotations. Do our set of plie squats for the first couple here. As you can see, Lauren's hips stay over the feet. Stand up nice and tall. Repeat one last time. Then take one leg, slide it out front, quads are parallel, and then transfer to be between 2 feet. Now with the head neck nice and tall, facing forward, shoulders and hips as well. Then, at the head neck, look over the shoulder in a rotation and return to center. As we rotate at that head neck, we're looking to continue to get tall, pulling the crown to the ceiling. One more time each way. We'll work in sets of 2, rotating back to center. And last one. And my back foot is working a lot to keep myself balanced here today. Then I like to take my hands across chest or somewhere similar, and with my head forward, hips forward, turn only the shoulders. 25 degrees, not much, but rotate one way, rotate the other. Is the head continuing to face forward, and same with the hips. Repeat one last time each side, adding the rotation, head forward if we can, isolating that T-spine, rotating through center, and last time, rotating, returning to center. Now with the head forward, shoulders forward, turn so that the hips open. And then push on that floor to close the hips back to face forward. The shoulders stay put, the head neck faces forward, and for 1 or 2 more repetitions, open those hips to face towards Lauren in this case, and then back towards the camera. Push off that back leg, assemble your feet together, wiggle it out in between, and repeat one last time on the other side. And this is the hardest thing. Which one did I have in the front? Plie. Then I'll have my other leg out in front, split between 2 sides. Tall crown, add a rotation as I look over my right shoulder towards Lauren, returning through center, and then the other side. Use your balance aid at the side if you need. We have a chair off screen or wall bars as we look to create stability and mobility here at that head neck. Now hips forward, head forward, shoulders turn. Pull across, return to center, and creating room in that T-spine for mobility. If you're a golfer, a thrower, or just like to live and garden, you know.
If you're a thrower.
Thrower. We got one more time rotating.
I'll picture.
Working on that T-spine mobility. And then return center. Then with our head forward, chest forward, play with those hips. My hips are forward, they'll open up to face the side. It's very challenging as you do a couple more here to keep those shoulders forward. Isolate that the shoulders stay forward, those hips open, and return. Last repetition, open, return, and then assemble those legs together with a little bit of our shake. From here, Lauren will take us onto the ground for some wrist warm-ups and working through the spine again.
Come on down. Wait. Let's get down via our hinge. Chop those hips back. Oh, bending the knees, but the shins remain vertical. Just take a second here. Take a nice inhale, filling that belly, even though you're in that hinge position. Exhale, stick those hips back a little bit more. And then slowly tip yourself forward. So we come on down to the knees. I want you to off your hands for 1 second. So knees here. I like to have my toes tucked, you choose. Hinge on your hips, extend your arms, fingertips down, through the fingers to the callus line. Now before you put your palms down, try to straighten your elbows. And now put your palms down, keeping your elbows as straight as they can. Whew. Then from there, we'll shrug our shoulders up into our ears. I don't know. And then pull them down. I do know. Do that 2 more times. Shrug and pull down. As you're doing this the last time, check in that your head and neck is staying in the same place. And your spine isn't moving. It's just your blades rolling over your rib cage. Now, with your shoulders packed into the armpits, rotate your elbow pits or your blood donations as far forward as they can. And then try to rotate them backwards or hide them. Do it again. Rotate them forward, keeping your shoulders down. And then backwards. And one last time, we're going to rotate them forward. Keep them forward. And as they're there, keep trying to rotate them more and more and more and more and more. Stay with that as much as you can as you gently drift your shoulders towards over your fingertips. And then press your fingers back to push you back. Repeat. Elbows so straight. Gently drifting forward. Pressing forward to go back. We're going to do that 1 more time. Straighten the bows. Gently rock forward. Press back so much you flick the floor away. Flick. Nice. Shake it out. From here, same thing. Arms are out. This time palms face each other. Use your hinge. Fingers down. Through the fingers to the callus line. Straighten your elbows. And then place your palms down. Nice. With your shoulders down, your elbows straight. Press your right fingers into the floor. What happens? You should go to the left. Press your left fingers into the floor. What happens? Pew! You should go to the right. Let's do that a couple times, feeling how you can transfer weight using your fingers, which is a very important task when you decide to do some handstands. 1 more time each way. Whether you do or do not do handstands, it's great for the wrists no matter what. Back to center, peel the palms away, flick fingers, shake it out. Last one, my favorite for the opposite of typing, the opposite of most things we do, fist, hinge. 1, 2 knuckle down. So first 2 knuckles down, shoulders out of your ears, elbows straight. I suggest keeping your hands fairly close to your knees to start. The further away from your body, the harder it is. Roll over the back of the hand, letting it open. Once it's open, check in with the shoulder down and the elbow forward. Then push into the floor to press back up to those first 2 knuckles. Other side. Roll over the back of the hand, opening up. Shoulder down, elbow pit forward. Press back to first 2 knuckles. 1 more time each side. Rolling over, taking your time. And I want you to find strength to push into the floor to get yourself back up. Don't just be loosey-goosey. Last one. Rolling over. Find a little loosey-goose here, but then press back through. Extend the hips to tall. Shake it out. Oh, yes. Speaking of shaking it out, we're going to hula. Bring a single leg front into a kneeling lunge position. Hula hoops on. 2 hula circles in each direction. As you're doing this, try to carve out a nice smooth circle all the way around you. When I'm doing this, I'm thinking about my pelvis moving, or those 2 hip bones, if you will, but my femurs, the other 2 long bones, staying stationary. Switch directions. And I'm just trying to move them around those long bones. I know, it's a little wild. Have some fun. Hula hoop. Once you're back to center, let's heel toe that foot to the side. And do the same thing. Hula's on, 2 circles each way. Take your time. I'd rather see a little bit of a slightly smaller movement. Nice, and then switch directions. Then a huge movement where you're arching your back and moving all around. Keep it nice and tight. To center, are you done too?
Oh,
I kind of got distracted.
Martin.
Heel toe to front. Pull that leg underneath. Zip, other side. Try to bring this knee up through the front. Good. From here, hula's on, 2 each way. Reaching around, especially out the back. We're trying not to crank on that low back or super arch. Keep it underneath you. And then switch directions for 2. What does it feel like?
Not a circle.
Not a circle, no. Heel toe that foot open to the side. Hips are forward, shoulders are stacked. And then 2 more circles from here. Reaching around. Oh, feeling that.
We were splits yesterday, maybe.
Yeah, feeling that in the ball and socket there. And then 2 in the other direction for our last 2 hulas here today. Unless Ethan has surprise hulas that I forgot
No
about.
surprise moves today.
Heel toe to front. And then let's push off of our back foot, drive into our front foot, and hop to top. Shake that up.
Always love that little shake. Returning to the breath. First, we made room. Now, we will look to add some stability to our breath. I'll assemble again in that sumo stance. Put one hand on the belly, or more specifically, a finger in your belly button. Take a big breath in, like before, 4 seconds full.
If you have an outie, just be gentle.
4 seconds full. From there, exhale, pulling that belly button into your spine. Repeat one last time, 4 seconds full. Big belly shape. And on an exhale, pull that belly button in. Now keep that belly button in, whether it's a bottle of champagne, Coca-Cola, or any other pressurized instrument that you can think of. Plug your belly button. Take a big breath in underneath that pressure, and then exhale. Let's repeat 3 more. A big breath in, pressing against the belly button, increasing that pressure in our side bodies, and exhale. 2 more. Big breath in, that belly button is still pulling itself to the spine, and exhale. And last time for now, belly button's pulled in, but inhaling big, and then exhale. Shaking that out. Try playing with that breath, pulling that belly button in and increasing the pressure to help support that spine. We'll come back to that breath in a second. But now we'll switch it up and get back towards that split stance. Knees over toes, squat plie check. Single leg out front, press between 2 sides. From here, of the leg that's in the back, take that same arm out front. Careful on the shoulder. Front, like this front raise can be appropriate, or, as Lauren just showed, horizontal with the floor. From here is the head, shoulders, and hips all facing forward. Next, protract through the shoulder, reaching through the armpit as we try to reach towards the camera, or Lauren tries to touch my shoulder. From there, retract the shoulder. Now fasten your seatbelt, in this case my left, towards my right hip. And as I reach forward through that shoulder protraction, avoid the rotation. Staying square, reaching long, putting on that seatbelt, engaging core. Retract through the shoulder blade. Repeating one last time, drive that arm as safe forward as you feel strong with. Then, from there, could you open up that upper body? My head faces forward, hips face forward, sternum off towards 11 o'clock. Then connecting that seatbelt, I'll pull my left shoulder towards that right hip. Finish the shoulder blade in retraction, and then step through, and then add that wiggle. That's not an easy drill. It's simple rather, not easy. And from here, we're trying to isolate that rib cage can move independently of the shoulder blade, but then they can also work as a team. Other leg out front, squat plie, single leg out front. Oops, switch your stance in. There we go. Now with that leg out back, place the same arm out front. And then our hips forward, shoulders forward, head facing forward. From that bottom underarm place, protract, reaching forward. Check in, are we still square? That seatbelt from the right shoulder to the left hip in this case. Then retract the shoulder blade. One more time, we're gonna drive forward through the shoulder blade. Are we still square? Hold it for 1 second longer. Then slowly add that rotation in the upper body. Hips stay forward, head stays forward, upper body rotates. Then that seatbelt analogy again to bring that right shoulder towards the left hip. Retract the shoulder blade, and then step through, wiggling it out. From here, Lauren's turn to get us back down to the floor for a little down dog.
Down dog. How fitting, lift to our hinge. Chop your hips. Just like last time, check out you have vertical shins, your feet are gripping the floor. Take a nice belly breath. Exhale, try to reach those hips back just a little further. And then we're gonna tip forward. Tip, 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 tip. Come on now, first to hands and knees. Right now, I want you to gently tilt your tailbone to the ceiling. And then I want you to pull the floor together underneath you and tuck your tail under, using your abs to tuck. Do that one more time. Pressing the floor away to tilt your tail to the ceiling. That upper back, upper body is not moving. And last time, pull to tuck under. All right, this tucked under place. I don't want you there when we're in our down dog. So let's gently tilt the tail to the ceiling. Keep that pelvis position as you tuck your toes, knees lift off the floor, tail reaches up to the sky. Keep that punch spilling out the front of your pelvis as you gently try to straighten your knees. And breathe. Is your tailbone still long? Now, rebend your knees, tilt to the tail to the ceiling again, and then press the floor away. Trying to push the heels towards the floor or gently straightening the knees, but more importantly, tail is tilted to the ceiling. Breathe. And relax one last time. Tail tilts to the ceiling, slowly straightens. And then I want you to come down to your knees. And Ian doesn't know what I'm about to say, but I'm about to explain to you why we do this. In the down dog, what we often see, let me see if I can do it, is this tucked under position or rounded in our, am I rounded in my low back? Rounded in our low back. So what we're feeling is more of a length or a pull through our low back versus trying to lengthen out our hamstrings. As soon as we tilt our tail to the ceiling, our hamstrings get as long as they can because they insert up here. So we're trying to get more into the hamstrings and less just cranking on our low back. We have to stand up after that though. So tilt your tail long, press the floor away. Try to keep that tail long as you walk your hands towards your feet, and then you'll use your hinge with soft bend knees to extend to tall. And hopefully that is a new down dog.
With our students in class, that movement, that subtle movement of that tailbone tilt has taken a movement that most people perceive as rest and easy and made it very, very challenging. Those carry through into our hinge and our swings and how we can lift things in the garden. We would like to keep the hip hinge anterior to the hip pelvis and loading up on the hamstrings. From here, we're gonna breathe one more time. This is all pretend, I promise. Well, when I try to hit Lauren, it's gonna be a promise, pretend here. Lauren, we'll take a big breath in. Exhale, pull the belly button in, and then brace behind that. And for 10 seconds, continue to take breaths in and out, staying nice and strong, and then shake it out. Now it's my turn, and I'll be singing happy birthday. Here we go, bracing on those abs, and we can take a hit on
So
those
you're taking an
abdominals.
inhale, keeping that shell braced as you breathe underneath it. If you don't have somebody to punch you can punch yourself, or like Ian said, singing a song
Happy
while doing
birthday
this.
to you. I won't sing
Very
anymore. One more time each. Short intervals, those hi-ya kind of moments in our life. 10 seconds of work where we're bracing on those core muscles, and you can still breathe. And then shake it out, and for one more time, it's my turn next. Those core muscles are braced, and I'm breathing in.
And he has the shield all the way around him, both sides.
And relax. This month, particularly when you're out in the garden here in the spring, use that brace breathing mechanism for safety, strength, sustainability, and all of your fun workout and workload pursuits. Let's moving on to our clock warm.
Clock. In our clock position here, we are going to stand with our feet underneath us. Point our directions first today. Point to the front, straight knee pulls underneath. Point out 45 degrees, straight leg pull underneath. Point to the side, grow tall. Point to the back corner, pull underneath, roll over the foot, point directly behind you, roll back to tall. Knees don't need to bend on this activity. Other side. Point to the front, straight knee, pull under. To the front 45, pull, growing tall. To the side, pull. To the back 45, and knee stays straight. Feel that adductor, straight leg reaching over and rolling over the foot underneath. Now we know our clock positions, we'll add to that. We'll peel our single foot off the floor. Now we're bending that knee, pointing, toe ball heel soft land. The knee might work towards pressing over the toes. The hips are stacked underneath our shoulders, and our back heel is heavy with the back leg straight. Press into the floor forward to push yourself back. Peel off the floor, open to 45, toe ball heel soft land. Again, shift that weight a bit forward, press back. Peel, open the knee side, point, toe ball heel soft land, press to center. This time, peel, open to the side, rotate on that standing hip, soft landing, new corner, press to center. And now this one, I change it up every time. Let's go stir with the quads parallel, bend the knee, point out the back, toe ball heel soft land, press through to top. Backwards always tricky. Second side, peel, front, toe ball heel soft land, back heel's heavy, press to center. Peel, open 45, soft land, press to center. Peel, open side, point, land, press away to go back. Peel, open, open more, new corner, center, and then this one, keeping the quads parallel, bend the knee, toe ball heel, hips sink back, press through to tall. Nice. We're coming back down to the floor to work through our hip circles. Come on down, using your hip hinge. Chip chop. Slowly walk yourself up. Hands are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips. We are going to, actually maybe just take a second off. Let me show you our directions first and then join me. We're first going to go tail slightly tilt, compress, lift, knee comes towards chest, keeping the tailbone long, side, tracing that circle all the way around our fire hydrant to the back, and then pulling underneath. We're going to then take it to the back, open up to the side, all the way around knee to elbow, return under. Before you start, here's a bowl of water, put it on your back, don't spill it. From our all fours position, slightly tilt the tail to the ceiling, not cranking, just a slight tilt with a core brace. Now bend a single knee, getting the heel as close to your bum as you can. Now lift the knee slightly off the floor, compressing into the hip. Now bring that knee towards your chest, keeping the tailbone long. From there, lift the leg out to the side. Don't tip over and spill your bowl of water. Slowly take that knee around like you're drawing a circle on the wall, all the way around the back. Out the back here, you're in hip extension. Before you close up, are your hips square to the floor, your glute working, you're kicking the ceiling, and then pull that knee back underneath, keeping that tail long. Once it passes through center, it gets parallel, let's go in the other direction. Slowly extend back up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are square, hips are square. From here, open the gate towards the fire hydrant, drawing that circle, getting that knee towards the elbow, keeping the tailbone long, pulling underneath towards the chest, and then placing the knee back down where you got it. Whew. Press the floor away, take a couple seconds off your hands. Same routine, other side. Hands find the floor under shoulders. Tail slightly tilted long. Knee bends, heel towards butt. Knee lifts off the floor. Now pull the knee towards the chest. From there, lifting it out to the side, drawing that circle around without tipping or spilling that bowl of water off your back, all the way to the back. Once we're here, square up those hips to the floor, reach a little more for a second, and then pull the knee back under to parallel. Keep the knee bent like you're holding an orange behind it. Now, brush backwards, kicking the ceiling. You're still squared up to the floor. Open to the side, no twisting or dipping. All the way around, knee towards elbow. Comes underneath, keeping the tailbone long as it comes towards the chest, and then brush that knee back under. Whew. From here, we're going to work to standing. So we'll tuck our toes, lift our knees, and slowly walk ourselves back up. Nice. Whew.
Awesome. From here, we've hinged a couple sets. We'll fold to the floor for just a couple more.
I made you get up.
Yeah, little inefficiencies built into the workout here. That's what a workout is. From here, extend the head neck, looking up. Then tuck the chin and roll down the spine. Before you go too far, let's pull in that belly button to help candy cane that rib cage spine down into flexion. Keeping the knees and the feet stacked underneath of those hips. If you need to, of course, you can bend. Then from here, walk to the knees or hold your high planks position. And from here, walk the hands forward.
Oh, wait,
Holding
from the
the plank.
knees?
Yeah, well, I'm going from the knees because that's tough. I thought you might go from your full plank. But from the knees, walk yourself out. Ooh, we'll give Muller more room if she is going to do that. Just walking out towards a walkout plank here, and then press the floor forward to walk back. How'd that feel on the knees? How'd that feel on the toes? Maybe we'll switch for one more. Here, I'll be in my high plank. Lauren's also going from her high plank and walking out, holding a fun high plank position here and walk out.
I call this the extended plank.
Walk back one more time.
Such a creative knee.
And then either your fold or your hinge. If you choose the fold, pull that belly button in and pull yourself to tall. We have a wall bar here and a chair just off to the side. 2 more movements for those hips. 1 more plank walkout. We'll carry on with the rest of our day. Using your balance aid on the side of the wall, start with a bent knee. Lauren has cued quads that stay parallel. Let's continue with that cueing. Quads parallel, add the bend in the knee. From here, reach the knee out to the side, and then bring the instep.
So I'm trying to decide my best angle for every time.
Choose that angle. Check it out. There we go. Now from here, return to the original position where the quads are parallel and we're internally rotating on the hip. Repeat 2 more. Slowly return the bottom of the foot to the standing leg knee, keeping those hips level. And then internally rotating on the hip, take the ankle away. If you're not feeling this in the lateral butt cheeks, knees. We're probably doing that from your low back. Lower. Find the place that you can groove the shape from in the hip. For one more time, from the side position to that internal rotation on the hip. Hold for a second or two longer. And then return the foot to the standing leg. Pull that knee in front and press down to reset. We'll do a switcheroo here. Same thing on the other side. With the quads parallel, bend a single leg. Then reach that single leg away from the body. Are we hiking, shifting weight? Stay with those hips nice and level. From here, an external rotation in the hip brings the knee to the side. An internal rotation on the hip brings the foot away from the body. Feel the burn, the polite burn, and then slowly return to the other shape. Check that hips are level, standing leg engaged, and then external to internal rotation here on the hip, and then return one more time. External rotation brings that inseam forward, and internal rotation in the hip hides the inseam, bringing the foot away from the body. Return the foot to the standing leg, return to the knee center, press down, and reset. Was the plank walkout okay for you? If so, join us for one more set. It was a little bit crazy. Just spend some time more in your high planks position, building tension and endurance for those wrists. Last time on our walkout, continuing to use that fold. Start an extension of the head neck, chin tuck next, fold with control. From here, we could modify those knees to continue flexing through the spine, or stay stacked, feet, knees, and hips on top of one another. Then walk out to your plank, modify from the knees if you need, and walk out with control, holding plank's tension, your core brace, your breathing maintained, and then walk or slide those hands back underneath. Take some rest, challenge yourself appropriately, and then from the knees or a high planks position, one last time on our walkout, nice and control. This drill here makes me think of missing free throws at basketball practice. I mean, I never miss free throws at basketball practice. And then from there, we'll walk to the hinge,
All I need.
and then stand up. For every missed free throw, do one of those plank walkouts. Makes your arms tired, enhances your core, and really penalizes this situation there.
I'm sure it improves your target.
For one more movement for today, return to our bar. Lauren's legs lift higher in an internal rotation on the hip, where that inseam is down. When it turns itself up, that becomes a little bit more challenging. My hips are the opposite. Put a leg up to the side, turn the inseam under, gently try to lift. Tap down. Turn the inseam forward, try to lift, tap down. Which one is easier for you? Don't do that one. We're going to do the challenging one. So for me, that's my inseam turned down. Lauren, inseam turned up. We're going to pretend first. So with our hips extended, hand on the ground, say it as you need. I will be internally rotating on my hip and Lauren externally. From here, pretend only. Lift away from the floor, offloading, very subtle. Again, if we feel that in the hip, you're doing A+. If you don't feel that, continue to use your imagination and build the work from the hip. Relax. You might be able to stand forward by 1 degree on that standing hip.
What does that mean?
Like push your hips forward. Then straighten out that lateral leg, stiffen the knee. Roll in on the hip if you're team Ian, roll out on the hip if you're team Lauren, and again, pretend to lift away from the floor. As I pretend to lift, I reach further away along the floor first. Then if I am, in fact, lifting away from the ground, I can try to hold it out there for 5, with a straight knee 4, with a rolled in hip for 3, 2, tap down. One more time. Again, the hips probably can come forward by 1 degree. Stand, cramp, roll in, lift as the pretend first, and then hold it. Tap down, and as you pull that leg underneath, grow taller as all the time. Taller all the time. And then shake. Pretend to lift first. The preload with a kettlebell, the preload in our bodyweight drills, essential for strength and safety. Turn in on that hip if you're teaming, turning out if you're teaming more. From here to pretend first. Pretend to lift. Can you feel that intensity build on both this lateral leg and the standing of the supporting leg? And continue to hold for 3, 2, and then relax. Same thing, hips forward, straighten the knee, roll in on the hip for team me, roll out for team Lauren, and again, lift.
Pretend or real? I don't want to get in trouble.
Pretend, and then if you can pretend, lift it away, reaching along the floor or wire first. 3 more seconds, and then tap down. This is the final move of the day. Finish with integrity as we push those hips forward, straighten the knee, action in the hip, Team Ian is rolling in, and from there, do the pretend lift first, and then if you feel that tension appropriately on the hips, continue to lift away, straighten the knee, roll in or out on that hip, your choice for 3 more seconds, 2, tap down, pull under, and get tall. Add that wheel. This is most like our morning routines. In the studio, we get to work with our students through some of those movements, and for Lauren, either pre or post run, some of these movements to help restore and feel better with movement. I feel better, I feel ready to have my second cup of coffee, and invite you to do the same. Thank you for joining here in the month of April for the morning routine. Sundays, checking in with your weekly link schedule. As we are in lockdown, there might be some pleasant surprises for new live classes or short segments that we'll film just shortly here too. That's it for me.
That's it for me too.
That's it for you. Have a wonderful day. Stay strong this month, and we'll see you to train very soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.